Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we're going to talk about the questionnaire we are intending to do our research on. And once more, I'm still open for other universities and other people to join us in this research. We could make it as a multi-center research. But let me explain the questionnaire. Okay, so the questionnaire was developed in a way that we try to remove the redundant questions not related to the specific point. What we are where we are aiming in this questionnaire is using a research tool that is already published. Okay, so we have used a research tool that is already published, talking about how people use the internet to gain information about their health. Okay, and that questionnaire measures a bit about how sure are they that the health information that they're getting is relevant to their problem. Is it reliable? Is it commercially biased? Is it coming from unreliable sources? Is it just testimonials from people's anecdotal testimonials? It's important that people, when they get health information, that they get it, that it's authentic and reliable. Okay, scientifically reliable. So we use the same tool that has some publications on it, and we modified it in a way that we want to talk about dental students. Are they getting authentic dental information? Are they using reliable resources? Are these bits of information that they're getting, are they reliable? Are they scientifically based or not? Okay, so we want by that to measure, are they aware that, first of all, there is something called reliable and non-reliable? And second, we want to make sure that this is coming from educational institutes, academic places, not regularly just dentists showing off their work off the net. Okay, so that's one of the sources. We don't say it's wrong. It's beautiful that you get the insight into those marvelous clinics we hear about, or those marvelous treatments that we hear about. But once more, we have to always keep the scientific question, the question mark, the big scientific question mark. Is this backed up by science or not? If you find something interesting, go and look it up in your textbooks, practical textbooks, dental material textbooks, and your academicians that teach you, because academicians have the benefit over practitioners. By the way, practitioners have many things we don't have as academicians. They have the experience with the people, they have the experience of socializing, they have the experience of marketing, they have the experience of freedom of shifting from material to another. They're not limited what university provides them. So they have a lot of freedom we don't have as academicians. But on the other side, we have another advantage over practitioners, that we are in close relation with books. So we would tell you, go to that book, go to that reference, go to that paper, look at that research, so we could advise you more scientifically related. So they have the experience, they have more hands-on experience, definitely, but we have more scientific opinion. So try to join both of us and you'll get a marvelous place, okay, in dreamland. But that's not the actual situation. We are slightly separated, so we want to make sure that our students, when they get dental information, they're getting them from reliable sources. And this will form the basis upon which they will decide later on the material. They will not go to, for example, a sales representative telling them about the material. It's a bit like a shame if a sales representative who only sells the material, he doesn't have any experience using that material in the patient's mouth, and telling you this is advantage and this, and some people told us it's so and so, and some people, dentists told us so and so. This is not the best source to get the information. By the way, they will give you a lot of beautiful hints, but always keep the question, the scientific question mark over anything you hear, and go and defend it or refuse it, depending on that question. Okay? So they give a lot of beautiful hints. They will give you the experiences because they visit multiple clinics at the same time. They will give you some testimonials from doctors, how they love the material, what was beneficial about it, but never leave the question mark, the scientific question mark, is this information reliable or not, okay? We don't want to end having people gluing in crowns that have been fallen down using cyanoacrylate. It's a cyanide, it's toxic, super glue. We don't want to end like that, okay? So I'm telling you how dangerous it is just to take a piece of information and not giving it a scientific critique. Is it reliable or not? Okay, so if we begin with the first question. Okay, there are some introductory questions about the university and which year you are in, and some ID. Can you say the student's number as their ID? Can you find the section of student number? I'm not opening it here, but so tell me from your computer. So you have, what are the first questions? University ID. Why do we need university IDs? I don't need them for any purpose. It's just to make sure that we don't duplicate questionnaires, okay? So you might, because you're a group collecting information. So if you go out and bring, maybe that student was not sure if it was the same question or not, he would repeat filling it, okay? But in the same time, you're using that question number, that university number, to do the reliability test for you. As I told you, you're going to fill in this questionnaire twice, you as a pilot group. You're going to fill it now, and once we end everything, you're going to fill it once more, okay? To see, is it reliable or not? Are you still on track or not? And see if it's repeatable, okay? If it's repeatable, and we'll get to something called kappa value, talking about repeatability, we'll understand if this is repeatable or not. A good questionnaire should be repeatable. You always understand it the same way, okay? You always understand it in the same way, and you answer it in the same way. That's a correct questionnaire. It's not a questionnaire that has multiple meanings, and you might answer it in a way, and then after understanding what it's about, you do it another way. Now, the health questionnaire I was telling you about had very limited number of questions. I think there were 8 or 10. When we distributed, we have done this work before. We have distributed this questionnaire before. Students were not sure what does every question mean. So what we did is each question, a big question, we put other questions guiding it, okay? So multiple small questions and then the big statement, okay? So this is how it's designed. Okay, let's go through. So the university ID, this is the function of it. What else? Name. If it's optional, as you see, it's optional. If the student wants to put his name. University, because once more, I might leave this as a short answer because I'm inviting more people in to join as professors, as researchers from other universities. If you know somebody who would like to do research later on, they could simply add in their questionnaire results to ours, and we could publish it as a multi-center, for example. We could do that. What else? Age. Why do we need the age? Because sometimes there are some information that are related to the age. And by the way, the generation differences between you are becoming more obvious. For example, in the 90s, those that are 20 years old and maybe 25 or 18, that age range all behaved the same. But in these times, every 2 years you find yourself in another generation, mentally, physically, and even in values. So there's a huge difference between every couple of years generation. We feel that every 5 years is a generation altogether. While previously every 20, 30 years would consist one single generation thinking in the same way, having the same behaviors together. But now this is why the age is important, because we could get from that types of stratums, we call it, where we could divide the information and further test it if we need to. What else? Gender, females and males. We know that there are different behaviors online for males and females, and we would like to also study that through our questionnaire. Continue.
What year are you? What year are you?
What year are you? Because the age the age is not enough, because we know that some people come back to study later on. So it's important to know which year. Now, third year is preclinical, we call it, okay? Behaviors change between preclinical and clinical years. Even clinical fourth year is different from fifth year. Your fifth year, you're more comprehensive in your search, you're more precise. So we could also divide those into strata and try to extrapolate some more information from it. What else? Now, the questionnaire itself. Is it there? Finished?
مكتوب إنه about educational websites.
Okay, continue down. There's another section down. Okay. Okay. So this was the problem. Some of the questions are not appearing. Oh, sorry. Okay. There's a small I over. Okay. Did you see it? Okay. This is how you view the questionnaire. Are they now apparent? The questions? التالي.
to the next. Okay.
Next. Okay, so this is why you don't see the questions. This questionnaire is designed to be sections, okay? It will not allow you to move to the other section unless you answer the questions that are required. There's like a star over it, okay? So let's begin answering the question and we'll continue after you finish. Okay, so once more, the questionnaire is designed in a way that it is in sections, so you cannot move to the next section a question unless you answer the first one. Secondly, if you are in the mode where you can edit, there's an eye over it, okay? Yeah. The eye, that eye allows you to see the questionnaire as you see it as a web page, not like an editable website, okay? So please fill it in and we'll continue to the next section in a moment. Give me the question now. You can access dental website, certain website. You can. الجواب بتاعته the answer is yes or no. يعني do you have an accessibility ولا لا? Because sometimes we have a problem with some people. They are a student but they don't have internet. We had that problem maybe previously when I first done this questionnaire in 2016 and 17 and 15. We repeated it multiple times. There we had many people telling us we don't have access to the net. Okay, so this is a questionnaire to continue. If they don't have access to the internet, you end the questionnaire there. Okay, so when you're filling with your students, continue.
I usually know which website is for basic dental science and what's for advanced dental science.
Okay, so you know which, meaning that as dental students, you need basic information basically, okay, first, and then you go to advanced. Sometimes the students, like say third year, fourth year students are caught with advanced websites. They could not differentiate this is advanced specialized information or this is basic information that I need for my studies undergrad, okay? So they're not able to differentiate. So once more, the question says, repeat it please.
I usually know which website is
I know.
I
Yeah.
usually know which website is for basic dental science and
I know
what's for
which website, so I could differentiate. Okay. Do you like us to change that format of question? Or is that okay? Okay. Understandable? Okay. Yes.
الكويشنير راح يروح لطلاب الطب البشري كمان.
Yeah. Yes. هذا questionnaire راح يروح. The questionnaire for medical students, the same. Wherever we have dental, we would say medical. It's a different questionnaire. It has been changed. For medical students, it's the same questionnaire but medical. It is a medical students form. Yeah, it's a different form. Okay. Question after that? Can you raise your voice, please?
My curriculum dental educator guide me in selection of dental websites.
Did you, the educators, I'm talking about your educators or those who supervise you, have they guided you to certain websites or not? Okay, so this is the role of educators, and we are highlighting here the problem of that some educators don't give additional websites in their curriculum. Do you remember the syllabus that you take in the beginning of the year? Syllabus, which has the outline of the lectures. It also has the outline of the references and other references, especially websites. Okay, now it's the responsibility of the doctor to enlighten their students and give them extracurricular websites to look at, teaching the same material he teaches, maybe giving better information, maybe giving more organized, they are well established. We as educators, sometimes maybe a prof is teaching you, he is skillful in these, but it may be a lecturer who's teaching you. They have not yet built their teaching experience, okay? They're still in the beginning. So having those variations of instructors giving you those pieces of information, one of their roles is it's one of their roles to guide you to reliable scientific information. Okay, the question after that.
The number of websites I access increase according to need.
Then the number of websites that you access begin increasing the more you need them. Okay, continue.
بعدين برضو
Okay, repeat it. Okay, I'll remove the repetition. But the idea here is, so you had a big question in the beginning. It was a yes and no.
Yeah.
The small questions after that are the ways to know which are reliable and which are not. It should be the role of your instructor. You know, the more experience you get to get into more information. So those small questions answer the big question. Do you know or you don't know how to differentiate between material you need and specialize in your level of science rather than going to advanced websites and so on. Okay, there were question after that, after the repetition.
I know what are the dental educational websites that are available in the internet. Agree,
Okay.
disagree.
Okay, I know the websites that are available,
On the internet.
dental websites available for the. Do you know them? Do you know websites available? You don't know websites? You don't know universities, academic areas giving you YouTube channels presenting for you academic information?
Sure.
This is talking about that. Okay? Do you know about websites specialized in giving academic information in an organized manner, or an organized way? This is one of the questions. Okay, what are the questions after that?
Then yes or no question, 2 questions. I'm sure I use a website that benefits me. Or the second one is I'm able to specify and analyze my need to guide me in search.
Okay, so I could, first of all, the first one, please.
I'm sure I use website that benefits me.
I use a website that benefits me. Okay, so that means knowing which websites present academic material, part of it, you know what benefits you. You know the learning outcomes that you're supposed to know. For example, if you take a course of cons, let's say operative 1, you're dealing with caries, simple class caries. You understand that my learning outcome should be that I'm able to perform a class 1, class 2, class 3 cavities, for example. Okay, so from the learning outcome, that means I know which website to go to benefit me in this information. So it's ability of merging your learning outcomes that you're supposed to have in each course with the website that you're reaching. You don't want distractions. The idea here is that we don't want distractions. I don't want to open a website and then at the end I finish maybe 1 or 2 hours scrolling or clicking on it through its web pages, and I find I don't have relevant information. So this is one of the roles of peer group, what I told you about peering up and accumulating your knowledge, because if somebody finds a good website, send it to the batch. This is a beautiful website about oral histology, for example. Suppose you were second year. Oh, oral histology. This is a great website. It has PowerPoints and it has clear slides and so on. So dispatch it to others. So that's a behavior. But the idea here is that if you know a website, it benefits your learning outcome, you know, so it's a bit of an awareness. It's a high level of awareness. First you know what you are needed to know, then you're not distracted and you go to the correct website. So those small questions, maybe the first question does not show that, صح?
Yeah.
Benefits you was not clear. Maybe I'll edit it to say, it's maybe benefits my learning outcomes from the courses I'm taking. That will be more clear. The second question?
I'm able to specify and analyze my need to guide me in search.
Analyze and specify my need. It's once more knowing my learning outcomes. Okay, but the idea I could analyze them and reorganize. Okay, I'll add the word reorganize the information. Okay, to fit what I need. The question after that.
Then a question of agree or disagree. I know where to find helpful dental educational resources on the internet.
Okay, not only learning or teaching material, you also need dental health information. Do you know how to go to there, how to reach them? Okay, what are the questions after that?
Yes or no questions.
Yes.
The first one is I use my time wisely, focusing on my questions or need without
Distraction.
overreading or interruptions.
Okay, I focus. I have the ability to focus on my needs and not being distracted by anything else. Okay, so that is part of the behavior of knowing exactly how to access these websites. The other one?
I could recognize educational materials in certified platforms.
Okay, I could recognize educational material from certified websites from non-reliable sources. I have to add that, from non-reliable sources, okay? Yeah,
I-
non-reliable like testimonials, clinical experience, sales representative, marketing brochures. I'm not talking they're not reliable. I mean, they still have the question mark. Are they backed by science or not? This is my responsibility. Now, what we get from very honorable manufacturers is that they don't put anything in their brochure unless it is well researched and studied. Some of the studies are present to the public. Some of the research is done in their private labs. Okay, so but they still have the responsibility that if each bit of information they put, they have enough documents to back it up. Okay, and this is one of the certification requirements when they go for FDA approvals or ADA approvals, or maybe in the EU, their approvals. I forgot its name. It's E something. So those health organizations that rule manufacturers to present their work, they put what we call like an ISO stamp. It's similar to the ISO. It's a stamp that's placed in FDI in America, for example. They put the FDI certified or ADA certified. Okay, in the Europe they put the I think it's the FDI in Europe. Okay, Institute for certifying the quality of the manufacturer health products. Okay, so if they have that certification, they will stamp it on their product. Okay, and anything present in their brochures should be scientifically documented and well presented, and they have the backup for it. Okay, but when we go to other manufacturers, or sometimes we go for marketing or distribution institutes, they gather a lot of dental material and they begin producing those marketing brochures. We're not sure what are they talking about. Is it still scientifically backed up or not? So keep the question and check it. You look for papers using that specific product. Now, under this, what we have to make sure that there are sometimes that are some products that come under other products, meaning that, say zirconia, okay? How many of the zirconia, monolithic zirconia material manufacturers certified? You will find them a number. But there are other manufacturers that name their product close or using the term zirconia as a general term, disguised and not sure that their material has been produced or tested, okay? Not sure that their material is tested. So make sure that when we're talking about any information, we take it from a reliable source, and that is why we need to know the information that we can differentiate. Continue.
I developed my dental glossary to aid my search on internet.
I developed my dental glossary, meaning that I'm using the correct terms. When I'm talking about, for example, this is one of the things, I'm going to give you from my experience. For example, TMJ use what? Temporal mandibular joint. Okay, what is TMD? When I put TMD alone, I will get a lot of weapons manufacturing companies. It's a weapon. I don't know what it is. It's TMD. What is it in weaponry? I don't know. So it will like give you a red flash. Somebody's looking for something dangerous. Okay. So whenever now, my experience now, whenever I say TMD, I put without after it joint dentistry. I don't keep it alone. Okay. So you develop your experience. When you're searching, by the way, you will begin using terminology, key terms. For example, neutral zone. You will say a neutral zone, and many things has neutral zones. If it's in agriculture, if it's in marine science, wherever you have a neutral zone, something between two dangers. You will have it also in military. You will have a lot of neutral zone. But if say neutral zone, denture, you know you're using the correct terminology. So that's the idea. Make sure that you're using the correct terminology, the keywords correctly, so to get the piece of information correctly. So I would not, for example, I would not say implants without saying dental implants. But if you put in implants, you will get all of the cosmetic manufacturers there. You will get all of the bone substitutions there, and so on. Now it's dental implants. So that is the way we make sure that we're using the correct word. Why? To reduce the overtime spent in material that's not relevant to your work. And once more, you going into the information directly. Okay? So using the terminology. What are the quick questions for that?
Focus during the online search.
First of all, I could keep focus on the in my search. Yes.
Without being misled by side links or by other interesting topics away from my questionnaire.
I'm not misled by other stuff, especially on the side. So I use the correct terminology and go immediately to my information. What else?
I have the proficiency
Proficiency.
in English to understand and to search.
I am proficient enough in English so I could understand what I'm searching, because many of the websites that we find for dentistry is in English content. Okay, so we get that, we have a problem with this, that if we don't have enough English, the information you're reaching is not helpful for you. And this is once more the problem that I told you when you study from slides or a material that is written in different languages. Try to read from scientific resources using the terminology and in proficient English, and also know the dictation of the word. You know how to spell it out. Okay? So not to go into misleading information.
Then agree and disagree question. I know how to search dental educational resources on the internet.
Now, once I reach that website, I should be able to search within it. Okay? I have to know how to search within it. For example, I access Birmingham University, for example. Okay? They have beautiful dental material. I go to another university. This is one that pops up on my mind. If I want to reach that university, I know that they have a website for some sort of courses. Okay? And by the way, I'm talking, this is off top of my head. But what happened after the coronavirus is there was an explosion in the courses online. There is a lot of resources online courses, especially for the basic sciences, like oral histology, anatomy, physiology, pathology, all of these basic science issues. They have a lot of beautiful online material. Sometimes you will have them as courses, paid courses. Yani you need to pay to access that course. They also provided by universities, getting financial benefit from the same courses. Okay, you might have them as online educational institutes. They are no longer the universities that are presenting beautiful academic, well scientifically backed information. Some people are into the educational bit of teaching, and also these are courses on present. So I want to make sure that I know once I access that website how to go directly to the material I need and know if it's accessible for me or not.
Yeah, I don't want to disturb you, but our clinic almost to start.
Okay.
There's a lot of questions. But I have one comment. And why don't we keep it just yes or no?
Your suggestion is that the side questions make them as statements only within the same question and make it only one answer?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Good.
Good. Okay, then we will rephrase it in a way for our questionnaire. Shorter. We rephrase it. We'll put the conditions first and then make the question yes and one question only.
No. Just keep this one.
Keep this one.
No need for it.
Okay, but the reason why we added them after the questions, now you understand the question. But the reason why we added them first time is that when the people answered that question, even the student presenting them with the questionnaire was not really knowing exactly what was meant by the question. Okay, so if we add them, let's say on the let's reverse them, make them as statements with nothing, and then the question is the big question and the yes and no. So they read the statements and then go to the question. Okay, fine.
No, this question like title.
Yes, it would be a title. Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Could be, or even one yes and no. But the question means taking this condition and this condition and this condition. The big question is one yes and no. It's easier for you to understand. Okay. Shorter and not multiple clicks. Fine enough with me. Okay. Any other suggestion? Okay. So we'll leave it at here, and next time, inshallah, we will be at 10 o'clock after 2 weeks. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet you in 2 weeks from now.